The following is a presentation from PokerStars.net. Last night on the big game, Tony G got off to a fast start.
You're drawing dead.
He stacked Doyle Brunson with his cards.
Reload.
And needled Phil Hellmuth with his mouth.
Oh, I'm going to butcher you so badly. I hope you got lots of rebuys.
The loose cannon Ernest Wiggins was just living the dream.
Man, this is cool as hell, man.
Tonight, he'll try to keep up with this table full of heavyweights on the big game.
This is the PokerStars.net Big Game.
Welcome to Las Vegas's newest big game in town. Alongside Joe Stapleton, I'm Chris Rose. And tonight, some of the world's best sit down at the big game with more than $500,000 in play in our state-of-the-art poker room. Phil Hellmuth earned his reputation as a tournament player, but he did turn a profit last night at the big game.
Tony G, the Aussie wildcard, had a good night last night. He's up $95,000.
The other Phil at the table, Phil Laak, the Unabomber, is down just a smidge, down $3,200.
Doyle Brunson had a rough night last night. He lost over an entire buy-in. That's $109,000.
And our loose cannon is Ernest Wiggins, who's been staked $100,000. He was taught the game of poker by his girlfriend, Felicia Sharon, whom he affectionately calls Rabbit or Boo. Now remember, Ernest gets to keep any winnings over $100,000, but he's already down $13,000. And the last player at the table is Daniel Negreanu. He's with our Amanda Leatherman.
Daniel, this is a pretty star-studded table out here.
No, it's fun. I mean, this is going to be crazy action. It's hard to get a word in because everyone's such a yapper.
I know, but do you feel like you're the biggest star out there?
Why would you ask me something so silly? You know who the biggest star in poker is the guy who created all this, and that's Doyle Brunson. Although, if you ask Phil Hellmuth, he'd give you a very different answer.
All right, well, what are your first impressions of the loose cannon?
So far, you know, he just seems like he's happy to be here right now. He doesn't seem like he's grounded and ready to play, but he needs to start kicking up the aggression level and gambling a little bit.
All right, get out there. Good luck.
All right.
Thanks.
Let's get that loose cannon.
As Daniel heads to the table, here are the loose cannon rules. Each cannon staked $100,000 to play. He keeps all money above the initial $100,000. And at season's end, the loose cannon who's won the most money earns a North American Poker Tour passport worth $50,000.
I'm gonna bring my motorhome out there and park it.
Where?
The World Series.
Daniel's renting a
I got one.
Really?
Ivy's renting one.
Oh, you have a motorhome?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I got a spot right outside.
It's about 5 years old and it's got 5,000 miles on it.
Really?
I had one last year for 3 weeks, and
Hey,
it was.
Sarah.
I liked it, Doyle, by the way.
Over 100,000.
Phil Laak with the min raised 800.
I
Tony
liked
G
having the
calls.
RV there
Hellmuth
in the
folds.
parking lot, but, I
Ernest
didn't love it.
Wiggins from Washington, D.C., the loose cannon, gets rid of his hand.
Did you make it? You made it 800? Is that correct? Am I seeing things?
So far.
Daniel folds.
Phil Laak has devised a new strategy for the evening. A little min-raise action.
Heads up to the flop.
Which is King Jack 5. Laak checks.
Both players miss. Laak's still out in front with 2 sixes.
Tony G checks. 4 of spades on the turn.
Tony is now paired as 4.
Laak checks again. Tony G fires. 2,000. And Laak calls.
You got something, I guess.
A loose call with 2 overcards on board, but Tony has been known to barrel with a wide range of nothing.
9 of spades on the river. Check.
I
Check.
check.
2 sixes.
And Phil Laak takes it down.
You should have bet it all, Tony G. Where's your hat? Where's your hat?
I had a hand.
I folded
Out of a lion.
The other time I folded a pair on the Queen 7, and I just was kicking myself for the next 10 hands. I said, well, I'd rather lose than kick myself.
I had a
every
hand,
day.
otherwise I would have bet. But I actually,
You had
Oh, you had a 5?
I hit a 4. I qualified, that was it.
You qualifying it.
I didn't qualify, I would have bet.
Does it make you uncomfortable when people do this when they look at your chips?
Man,
With the tongue wagging?
only when I ain't got the best hand.
Please don't drool on Ernest chips. Phil Laak will get us going this hand.
Who's the best rapper in the business today? Drake?
Nah, oh man, you don't want my opinion on national television about
I
that.
do. I want your opinion.
For real?
Yeah.
Okay.
Action folds around to Ernest. Pocket rockets.
Drake is, I mean, you gotta be a good solid rapper. They paid $1 million for him. I think he's a little bit overrated. In my
You
opinion.
do? Wow.
Yes, I do. I get more props to Trey Songz. And even though they're different
I
categories,
shot
but
a video with Trey Songs the other
they
day.
came out at the same time.
I never heard either one of them.
I shot a video with Trey Songs a few days
Ice
ago.
Brunson.
12.
Raises to 1,200.
But Trey Songs isn't really a rapper, is he? I mean, he...
No, he's actually a hip hop artist. The only reason I compared them to because they came out at the same time.
You'll ever hear Frank Sinatra?
Frank Sinatra? Oh, isn't he the one that's... No.
I love him.
Huh?
I love Frank Sinatra.
Sinatra? You and Doyle, soulmates.
Sinatra does drop some sick beats.
And Daniel drops his hand. Queen 7 for Doyle.
Nah, I'm a Hova fan, man. I'm always gonna be a Hova.
Yeah. Me too. Jay-Z, baby.
Doyle calls.
I shot a video with Ludacris and the Trey Songs a couple days ago.
The
For
flop.
A song called Sex Room.
They picked the right guy.
Welcome to
Phil
my
Hellmuth.
sex room. No, they wanted the Ocean 11's part. That's why I was there.
Yep.
Check by Doyle over to Ernest. Bets 1,300.
Sexy flop for Wiggins aces.
Thought you were the pimp in the sex room.
All right, go ahead.
Doyle's had enough of the talk and the hand.
My life's a little slow that way.
Only because I respect you, Doyle. Only because I respect you.
He had a pair.
I would never show that hand again. My bad, Rabbit. Rabbit would be like,
Yeah.
Rabbit would be like, it's okay, it's Doyle, it's okay.
It's okay, it's Doyle.
Wow. I had something evil in mind.
Oh, you're going to re-raise him?
Oh, what you about to go there, man?
I think Rabbit would be impressed.
Rabbit, of course, his girlfriend Felicia, who almost has as many nicknames as E-Dub. Well, let's take a look at the rules of the big game. Each table lasts exactly 150 hands. Action pre-flop is pot limit, then becomes no limit after the flop. Blinds are 2 and 400 with $100 ante, all of which is paid by the player on the button. And every player begins with at least 100,000, but can rebuy for up to 500K. We continue with hand 35 out of 150.
How old are you?
36 this year.
Oh, I'm 35. I'm the same as you. When are you going to be 36?
July.
July what?
20th.
July 26. What?
Hey, yeah, Leo, Cancer. That's what's up. Close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sense a joint birthday party.
Tony G is sure to join the party with ace-queen, but he just limps in. Suited connectors for Hellmuth. What's he smirking at?
Could be reaction to the loving gaze of Tony G.
These lovebirds are together again as Hellmuth calls.
It's on me, I fault. I'm sorry.
Ernest gets out of the way. Ace-5 for Daniel.
2 limpers, right?
Let's make it a third. Now Doyle, 4 and 5.
In the old days, you might have hit it there, Daniel.
Hit it? I don't have anything.
Raced it, and I know that. Since when did that stop you? Tony G and I would have both called you.
Yeah.
8-7-7 on the flop, a full house for Phil.
Let's not forget Phil Laak is also flopped an open-ended straight draw.
Check by Brunson. Laak bets 1,400.
It'll be bad news for Laak if he somehow gets there.
Tony G folds. Yes, you still have a full house, Phil.
Raise it.
Announcing a raise.
Hellmuth's trying to build a pot here. Everything was limp pre-flop, so no one's likely to have an overpair to this board. So Phil is really praying someone else is limped with a 7. Otherwise, there's a good chance he'll chase away all of his action with this big of a raise.
I'll take this one, Phil.
You will.
Action is folded around to Laak, who folds as well.
Folding the made draw. Just like
Turn one
that.
off. Let's see what he makes.
Can we rabbit turn that? Keep going. Don't bring it.
He wouldn't have got there, but Phil Hellmuth would have made quads.
Good lay down.
Good lay down. Yeah.
God dang it all.
If the flop had come like 9-9-6 instead of 7-7-8, I would have been involved.
Why play the hand like that? God dang it. I flopped the full house, man.
Really?
Flopped the full house and made quads.
Hellmuth beating himself up a little bit, though I don't think Laak would have donated any more with just a 9 high.
Probably not the last time we'll see the Phils tangle tonight. If you want to appear on the big game and be a loose cannon, log on to PokerStars.net. There are free qualifying tournaments every day. More of the big game when we come back.
Phil Hellmuth is clearly one of the greatest tournament players of all time. He's got 11 bracelets at the World Series of Poker. In cash games, he's yet to prove himself as a winning player.
I understand that he is a little bit weak maybe in the cash games. I don't think he's quite as weak as like Danny makes him.
He could prove to everybody today that he's a great player and that he can beat the odds and he can beat the best players here today.
Joe, when I hear a Hall of Famer like Doyle Brunson say that Phil Hellmuth is weak at something, that gets my attention.
There's an old poker phrase that goes, don't tap the glass. I think Doyle may have just leaned on it.
Well, through 38 hands, Phil Hellmuth is certainly holding his own.
We got a straddle on it. Doyle Brunson. Round of straddles, everybody, or just
Sure,
Doyle?
I'll do it.
Round of straddles. Want to do a round of straddles? You should do it. You're a loose cannon. It's all good for you. Don't worry.
I know. I like mine.
Tony, round of straddles.
Okay, I'm in. I'm happy to do double.
He's in. He's in.
Phil Laak races to 2,800.
I didn't agree to anything yet.
Do what you want to do. I don't care.
You don't have to. You can show, you know, your. I'm scared.
I'm scared. All right, I'm not going to do it.
Oh no! Don't do that. You're just gonna get the whole knit label just attached to your forehead. Then.